Hi everyone, welcome to OWTV. I'm Renanthra, and with me today is Danny from Team Liquid.
Hello.
Hi Danny, it's been a minute since we
Hi.
spoke. I know Danny, he's fellow Canadian. Canadians all know other Canadians, that's just how it works. But for people that don't know who you are, Danny, can you kind of give them a brief introduction?
Yeah, so hi, my name is Danny. I'm currently the analyst and assistant coach for Team Liquid. Previously, I worked on Toronto Defiant with Casaurus. I've also worked on Team Canada, Washington Justice, and Atlanta Reign.
All right, shout outs to all the Canadians out there. Yeah, it's been a minute, and it's cool to see that you are continuing to work with Casaurus. How's that been,
Yeah,
kind of maintaining that relationship?
I mean, it's awesome. I think the difference this year is that we have such a young roster, right? So it's kind of different in a way where we had Ham and Merritt last year, where they had a lot of experience. They just came off of their Overwatch League win. So it was kind of all together and they had that type of leadership. But now it's on me and Casaurus, where we have a really young group of guys and we kind of have to be the leaders putting into place different systems and how we approach practice and be really like on the point with them.
Yeah, because Soros mentioned like a lot of that kind of being the adult in the room as a big
Yeah,
responsibility.
100%.
Yeah, and he's in the house, but are you currently living with him?
No, actually, I'm not. So I'm living in Toronto, but I'm always open to go visit them. So they have their team house in Dallas. I visited their early stage 2. Could potentially visit another time.
Yeah, cool. So, yeah, so I'm assuming they call in the big guns whenever
Oh no.
playoffs or whatever around. Danny comes in with a suitcase full of notes. Okay, so like, what is that like? Is your dynamic with the team different, being someone that doesn't live with them?
Yeah, so I guess I would say it's a little bit different because obviously I don't see them face to face as much as the others. But I think on Discord I'm always open, like even before the matches, like RuPaul will message me about the bands or like Tree will message me about the bands. We always like to hang out before or after matches or even just on Discord, just talking about the games. And I think we still maintain a good relationship. No complaints there.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some pros and cons of not living in
Yeah,
the house. Like,
100%.
so things will come and go, and I mean that's good to know that like you guys are still very much
Yeah,
attached and work together well, and it doesn't seem to interfere at all. So that's good to know.
yeah,
Um, I'm here today, obviously, to talk mainly about your week 1 matches. So, Team Liquid, heavy favorites coming into the season, especially given the meta.
yeah.
And you guys played Nightmare for game 1 or match 1.
Mhm. Yeah,
So just going right into it, Ilios comes up in the pool, and you guys ban Freya
yeah.
to play what I presume was double flex DPS, given the strength of your team and how well that equips them for success. And they banned Ball, presumably to force like a Winston mirror. Were you expecting kind of the bans to go the way they did map 1?
Yeah, so I wasn't like going into the game. Obviously, Nightmare they have a lot of roster members, right? So they have their off tank roster, and then they have Nenwai as well for like Lucio. So when I saw the roster, we were kind of just expecting a pure mirror. Like we're happy with any ban that was going to happen. So we weren't concerned about a tank ban or a support ban because we also wanted to lean into the 2 flex. When they had 2 flex in. So I think the most obvious ban was just Freya because that was kind of a good hero on the map. Maybe something we underestimated was actually how well Seeker played on the Reaper. So I think their kind of strategy with the ball ban was they want to force Winston mirror, and then Seeker was going to play Reaper, and then Reaper into our Winston. So if you actually watch the first match, we kind of expected this was going to happen. So we tried to play Pharah on well, but unfortunately we still didn't get the win, and I think that was a little bit disappointing to us.
I actually had that down as a future question, but since this segues so beautifully, I was very curious about the Farah pick. It was like was that an adaptation of the fly or a plan thing? But it seems like you guys did your scouting on that.
Yeah, that was definitely our plan because we weren't really thinking that Seeker was going to play Genji or some kind of other hit scan. So we were thinking because Reaper was showing up in the Korea games and more people were trying this like Tracer Reaper comp, we were thinking, oh, it's a good Pharah map, just try it. And then also they don't have an off tank player, and so they can't play Diva or something like that. Tree is actually pretty good at the Pharah. Like he's been practicing it a little bit in some other situations when some DPS get banned on good Pharah maps. So it was kind of natural for us to pick it. And Ilios is a good Pharah map, but I think in the end we kind of played a little bit poorly into the Reaper, and we kind of underestimated how much value the Reaper could have gotten on Ilios.
So it wasn't that the Reaper was completely unexpected, but you think it was just kind of like a little rough in execution then?
Yeah, I think it was definitely an execution problem. There was no like real surprises on our end. Like we've played Ilios a million times at scrims. I think it's our best map. That's why we selected it. Uh, I mean, something that we've been trying to work on a little bit is kind of just starting off the match really strong, right? So some people have nagged us about being slow starters. And I guess this showed again because, well, we lost map one. But I think
Yeah,
that's just something we're gonna keep trying to improve.
baby steps, of course, is
Yeah.
obvious, and it's not too bad because you guys did close out that series 3-1, despite a couple of points getting a little closer than you might have liked. I'm sure we'll get to that. But moving into map 2, you guys went to Atlas.
Yeah.
That was your choice in that. Can you walk me through kind of the thought process in that being your flashpoint pick?
Yeah, I think Atlas is just a really good double flex map. So obviously Seeker is mostly a hit scan player. So we wanted to go a map that's more chaotic, good for the 2 flex. And then also we realized that they banned ball. So that gives us an opportunity to ban either a DPS or support. Going into Atlas, right? So we selected the map and we chose first ban. And we saw that they subbed in Nenwai, Lucio player. So I think the easy choice is just ban Lucio and just try to force him onto the double flex. But he decided to play Brig. And then they don't really have a really good ban on their part. They decided to ban Genji. So, but that's easy. We could just play Reaper, Tracer. We were expecting any type of DPS ban, and I think we would be good regardless.
Nice. I mean, the Lucio ban I think was really interesting because honestly, looking at the NA region as a whole, that seems powerful because a lot of teams are locked into the Lucio pick due to player pool. And were you kind of anticipating like the Brig would be the thing they ran against or with Wuyang in that case, or was that intentional to kind of drag out the Brig, or was it like, oh, whatever they pick is not going to be as good as Lucio?
Yeah, I think it was more of a case of whatever they pick won't be as good as Lucio, right? Like I think the Gazaria comp and all these like different off-tank comps, they pretty heavily rely on the Lucio, and also just removing Lucio from Flashpoint, I think it makes it like a completely different game. I think if you look at the comp that we play, like the ball with like 2 flex, it's really chaotic. It's like everything's going around. It's like it's pretty hard for the spectators to watch, but it's really like this like messy comp, and I think when you try to play like Zarya without like a Lucio, it's hard to like walk around, reach things when we're literally just like all over the place with so many different angles on the map. I think the Brig was a little bit interesting. Like maybe it was good against the dive, but I think it also gave us a target because Brig's not too mobile, and against our Reaper, against our ball, we could just dive in whenever. It's hard for them to make rotations, especially without Lucio.
Damn. Okay. So I mean, Lucio seems to be like the power ban in the region right now. You'd
Yeah,
probably say.
I think so.
Noted. No chances of Juno alleviating that for speed or anything like that. You just think it's another easy target.
Yeah, I think Juno's not too heavily played in the meta. I think Wuyang double flex comps are much stronger.
Got it. So we'll keep an eye on that moving forward. On the topic of Wuyang then, Vega was kind of debuting on that hero, and I think a lot of people noticed him he chose Falling Rain, I think was the name of the perk for the 3 orbs, and doing as much damage as he possibly could, contrary to a couple of other people think is the better perk or in Ebb and
The
Flow.
double wave.
Yeah. Kind of was that like a thing you guys talked about in your analysis of what makes the hero strong, or was that kind of Vega's just like opinion and kind of what's the difference maker in picking one of those 2 majors?
Yeah, so myself or Cass, we don't have any involvement with that. We'll let the players pick whatever perk they would like in the moment. I think Vega's been picking it recently just because of like the side damage it does on like against enemy DPS, right? So if you hit the triple orb on a tracer, like forces recall, or if you're hitting it against a Reaper long range, like the Reaper is forced out and you kind of have a lot of space like that way. So if you're using it in a comp where it's really like chaotic with like DPS on the side and you're kind of playing it like you would like a Kiriko on the side. I think the triple orb is pretty good, but maybe if you're playing it more as like a healer, maybe the double wave is better. I know that UV, who's actually been one of the better Wuyang players, I think, in the region, he also takes the triple orb. So maybe that was something, but
yeah, I think CJ also, a couple of the more flex DPS players known to kind of dish out damage have been opting for that, and I kind of wondered if it was more of a stylistic thing, or if kind of people have discovered if it's the de facto better perk. But good to know.
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. Maybe that's a question you should ask the Wuyang players. But I like the triple orb. That one looks good.
I definitely like it more in ranked at the very least. But yeah. I've definitely seen Ebb and Flow find a lot of success, and that extra, I guess, quote, guaranteed value on that big button is nice. But Vega was doing a lot of work and saw a lot of praise for it. Yeah, but not to be outdone, we saw Tree play a variety of heroes throughout the series. Including, like you mentioned, the Pharah, but we saw Reaper and Genji, kind of the picks that everyone's going for, what people think are the strongest. How much of like what he's on is based on the matchup, and how much of it is pre-prepared based on the map?
I think mostly it's the matchup, right? So something we really like ever since the start of this season when we built the team was we wanted to be a really flexible team, right? So with Tree, like he loves playing every hero. He's not just a hit scan one trick, and he's really good at it. So even when we're doing well in scrims, like he'll pull up on Tracer, he'll try different picks like Pharah, like Reaper, Genji. And I think that's really beneficial to our team because also he calms and he's kind of a leader sometimes. And I think he just likes playing these heroes, and this gives us the opportunity to not only have to play these hit scan comps, but also play some double flex, pick Atlas, pick like the enclosed maps. So I think he does a really good job of that, and I think he's a very valuable teammate and player to our team because of that.
I think that's reassuring to hear for a lot of Liquid fans, knowing that like you guys are being experimental in scrims.
Yeah.
Having talked to a couple of other players and stuff as well, and Kasoris himself in the previous interview, mentioning that like, yeah, before we kind of had a bad tendency to maybe play to win a little bit more than we should in scrims.
Yeah.
Has that been like a mentality change coming into stage 3 for you guys and how you approach practice?
Yeah, so I think definitely there's a difference in approach, right? So myself and Cass, we had a huge meeting with the team. I think he talked about it, but we really want to just like take practice as practice, right? Like we don't really care about the result. We don't really care what's actually happening in the scrim, like whatever. Scrims are completely different than matches. So we want to actually learn from every scrim. We want to try different bans, different comps, different situations. It's so hard in these like scrims when you're playing against these teams and they're they're like really trying to like win and they're picking these like insane maps like an obvious ban when I want to chill out. I just want to focus on the game. So I think that's kind of like a mentality shift for myself as well, because as like the band guy for the team, I'm always focusing on, oh, this is going to be the best band for this situation. Let's ban this. Let's try to win. So for myself as well, like I kind of need to put that like side of my brain like away and just focus mostly on the gameplay. I think it also like helps the team as well because they only have to focus on what's going on in the match. They focus on playing the best. And then after the scrim, we'll review and we'll talk about, oh, maybe this comp was good, this comp was bad. Oh, in the match, let's do this band situation. Oh, let's play this comp, whatever. So it kind of just lets everyone focus on practice during practice. And then after the scrim, then we'll review. We'll say, oh, maybe we should ban this. Oh, if we're in a match, let's try to do this, something like that. So we don't want to kind of like show all our cards, but we also want to show that we're like improving, that we're trying things like that.
Yeah, a little bit of right place, right time, and kind of striking that balance. I like that. I like that. Speaking on like well practiced map or well studied maps, Kings Row is probably the most prolific. Like every team has practiced, or they try to make that their bread and butter. And you guys played Kings Row in your series against Nightmare.
Yes.
That's not normally considered a ball map, but we're seeing a ton of ball on Kings Row, especially as of recent. Do you think he's just simply like the best tank of this meta? Just if he's the best tank, we're going to play him on every map possible? Or is there kind of a new approach to Kings Row with ball that you guys have kind of figured out that you like better?
Yeah, I think ball on attack is much harder than ball on defense because on defense, like you can like do the close hold, you get like second fight sometimes. You come back so fast and you try to like take as many fights as possible. And I think that really fits our style because we want to play like Tracer Genji or 2 Flex, something like that. I think because there's also not that many good like ground tanks right now because maybe we would have wanted to play like Orisa or Ramatra against the Diva comp. But instead, our kind of approach to the stage was to play ball and like 2 Flex DPS, kind of what we're seeing in Korea. And we just wanted to take as many fights as possible and just be aggressive and just keep pushing. And I guess that worked out well. But obviously on attack, it's a little bit harder.
Yeah, I think that map ended up overall pretty close when Painkiller swapped to Junker Queen on second, and you guys were like a fight away.
Yeah, that was worrying, especially.
Yeah, I think Vega had just beat.
Fight. Yeah.
So was that like? I mean, you guys clutched up the series, but were you prepared for the Junker Queen? Did that seem like maybe a potential answer to you guys, not like knowing that you barely cleared out?
I mean, we weren't too afraid of Junker Queen. I think there was another team that we scrimmed against that played Junker Queen. I mean, obviously on Kings Row second, like super enclosed area, I think the Queen is going to look good, right? And they also had good ults. Seeker was like hiding in these like positions, and he would like get a pick on. He got a pick on Vega, and then the fight before that, he got a pick on RuPaul as well. So I mean, also it's like a play problem, an ult problem. I wouldn't say it's like too scary. It's just kind of like in the moment, finding the clutches and just playing well. It's not something that we can prepare for specifically. That we're going to see Junker Queen on King's Row second. We need to do this, this, this. It's kind of just a thing in the moment where the players just need to realize, okay, we need to get value with our ults. We just need to cap this fight. We need to win one fight to win the map, win the series. Let's just play well. Let's just do the basics.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
We kind of got into a weird situation where Zira had to go Reaper and then Tree was on Genji because we started on like Tracer Genji and then we were kind of role swapped. So that was a little bit new. That was a little bit worrying. But I think in the end, worked out. We got the win somehow. So
yeah, I think you beat me to the punch. I recognized like kind of the alternate swaps there, and I thought was that was that part of the plan, or was that just kind of the best?
No,
of the,
just random
timing.
Because Tracer on that like super enclosed second, not too good.
Okay, got it. Okay, so it's more of a best of a bad situation for them. They're like Junker Queen's just really good here, and we're gonna try to match the pace, and it ended up working mostly. But obviously, because he guys glitched up, which was great. Let's talk a bit about coming matches then. So Nightmare is done and over with, at least for now, before playoffs, and you guys play Extinction next week. So with the currently meta so good for Liquid, I'm assuming how you feel about this topic, but you guys said you're aiming for first. That's what Kasora said. Would you have rather played a quote stronger team right now when it is so fit for you, the meta? Like, would you have rather played Space Station or GK sooner before anything changes as opposed to Extinction?
I mean, I think we have no preference, right? Because I think in the end, it's not only winning about in NA, it's also about the World Finals. It's about playoffs. Like, we don't know if there's going to be another patch. I think on us, we just want to show a better version of ourselves than previous stages. Because to be honest, I think we let ourselves down in stage 1, stage 2. Then even in EWC, like we didn't play the best against T1, and then we didn't clutch up against Crazy Raccoons. So I think on us, we don't really care who's in front of us. We just want to play the best that we possibly can.
Eyes on the prize. I like it. Kind of living in the present. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, in which case, let's focus on the present. So Extinction's coming right up. What do you make of that game coming up? Is there any reasons Liquid fans should be worried?
No, I don't think there's going to be anything. From what I saw, they're just playing basically this exact same comp as us with Hattori on ball. So I don't think there's nothing worrying. I think maybe we'll try something new. We never know. Maybe we'll try. I think maybe something for us is trying against the ball ban. Maybe working a little bit more on our monkey comp if that's a thing. But other than that, I think it will be a pretty smooth, easy 3-0.
Yeah, I think Extinction ended up playing a little bit of Hazard against.
Hazard on Kings.
I think it was Dilducks played Doom.
It was like a weird match with.
It was like Atlas. They're like down 0-2 or something like that. Yeah, it was like a little bit of discovery on the fly, I think, for them. But yeah, okay, cool. Well, it's good to know you guys are super confident. I know Team Liquid is kind of the front runners with kind of how the meta is currently and all the massive fan base you guys have behind you. Do you have any words for them before we close out this interview? Like, do you have any message to the fans?
Yeah, so thank you to all the fans for supporting us. I hope we can continue to show a good performance, and I hope we can maybe switch up the comps a little bit and make sure we perform in playoffs. That's all I'll say.
All right, Danny. Well, thank you for your time, Team Liquid fans. It sounds like you have nothing to worry about. Please cheer them on next week against Extinction. I've been Renanthra. That's been Danny. And we are on OWTV. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.